Hi dear friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Akshad Arya, I'm Devraj. Today is 27th, almost we are in the end of the September month. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಓದೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದನ್ನು ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಸ್, ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ the test series for the competitive exams, especially for the UPSC and the state commissions exams, so which will be very useful and which will be very useful for the rural students. So if anybody interested to join for the test series papers, that I'm going to give the number I'm going to give in the video, and also I will mention the number in the description box. You guys can WhatsApp your details, name and mobile number and email ID and address and their education qualifications, so they can join for the test series exams with minimal cost. And this is not, that is not more than 1,000 rupees, of course. This is very minimal cost for the especially for the rural students. For them also it would be very to access very easily. We have made it very minimal for them. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್, ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್, ನ್ಯೂಮಾಲಜಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ palmist related services ಬೇಕಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ they can contact. I will give the mention the separate email ID for that. You guys can contact and resolve your doubts. So let's start today newspaper reading, and I hope you guys are doing great and learning great and earning great. If you guys have any doubts or comments, you guys can leave the comment in the comment box. So I'm very happy to resolve your doubts. So let's start reading the newspaper. Before going to start the newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share with your friends so they may utilize the opportunities. So let's start the newspaper reading. Today newspaper reading. Yes guys, let's start reading the newspaper. And let's see what's in today's news. This is a big van. It's a test. Let's go to the front page. Gujarat, first in the country to complete 20 years of Global Investors Summit, pursuing a pioneering vision, making a global impact. Narendra Modi. Days when a few set the agenda are over. New committee is set up to revise the school textbooks. CWRC directs Karnataka to release 3,000 cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu till October 15. Climate goals still within reach. IEA government set to honor Wahida Rahman. Defamation case, IPS officer Rupa to face trial. Mixed response to Bengaluru Bandh call. Internet restricted, schools shut in Impal war protests, cheetah may be flown in from new countries. Cow Vigilante group booked for robbing ice cream truck driver in Doddapallapur. Too bad. Three killed, one injured in road accident. Treasured for centuries, globally admired now. Ban most Bangaloreans stay at home even as all modes of transport remain unaffected. Most shops, malls, and other commercial establishments, except pharmacies and eateries were shut on Tuesday morning. Three hotels vandalized. Commuters are taking the BMTC bus at Kempegoda bus stand during Bengaluru Bandh on Tuesday. Shops and business establishments were closed in and around KR Market, SP Road, and Avenue Road. There was hardly any traffic at Nandali Junction. Police are detaining a Kannada activist who marched towards Raj Bhavan on Tuesday. Protesters urge government not to release water to Tamil Nadu till a distress formula is finalized. Kannada outfits call for state bandh on Friday. Patient flow reduced by over 30% in most government hospitals. 13 city. Flights cancelled. Two drug peddlers held. Think container, think conquer. Government forms new committees to revise school textbooks in time for next academic year. Panels to have MG Egde as the convener, educationists say that exercise may become questionable. It is important to look behind the copy bean to save humanity, says Gunter Pauli. Partnerships with global coffee farming community critical for survival. Michael A. Burns. Idea for G Galaxy I join hands to build UAE radar. KMSCH Medical College invite applications from interested and eligible candidates for the position. You guys can see this page if you are interested to join like in medical colleges or engineering colleges jobs. State government sees CWRC recommendation. As a leap, but farmers' opposition still upset. Mahatma Gandhi Seva award for Garak flag making unit. IPS officer Rupa will have to face a trial in defamation case filed by IAS officer Sindhuri, says Karnataka High Court. Myth linked to visits of CM to Chamrajnagar dispelled. Sidramaya. State delegation in US holds talks with RTX and Intelsat to explore partnerships. Bangalore startup offers a Gen solution to fire risks and low life of EV batteries. EMO Energy has developed a platform which combines software, hardware, cloud, and intelligence to improve safety and life of batteries, which can be used across high power applications. From Paris to Bangalore, a story on the relentless nature of motherhood. Saint Jill and Suits, Fest is year. Originating in Munich, Germany, Oktoberfest is the world's most renowned beer festival, steeped in tradition and cherished for its celebration of Bavarian culture. Beyond Bavarian bites, spotlight on young talent, bringing scoops and smiles. Time for a Drupad. EDRS CPI leader in Karuvanu Coop Bank case. The Arvind Akshan is the first CPI leader arrested in connection with the scam. ED is implementing BJP ISS agenda to destroy the cooperative sector in Kerala, says party district secretary Wagis. ED attaches property worth 62.05 crore. BJP is stuck between long-term strategy and a short-term gain. SC to hear Naidu's plea today. BU convocation put off. Let's read this editorial page written by Sir John Fellow. Pakistan internal challenges, shifting dynamics. Former Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani's persistent efforts to engage Pakistan to rectify its strategic errors in Afghan policy faced handmade expectations. In a critical meeting in May 2021 between Mr. Ghani and the Pakistan Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa, the head of Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence, Lieutenant General Faiz Ahmed, and the Chief of Defence Staff of the United Kingdom, General Sir Nicholas Patrick Cotter, it became evident that promises made by the Pakistan military were often diluted through their chain of command. Mr. Ghani noted a consistent drop in implementation processes percentages as orders traversed from General Bajwa to General by Faiz Ahmed to subordinate field commanders. This decline, attributed to a sympathetic disposition of mid-level commanders towards the Taliban, underscored the complexities within Pakistan's military. However, following the Taliban's unexpected triumph in Afghanistan, the mood shifted dramatically within Pakistan. A sense of victory liberating Afghanistan from a perceived oppression led to celebrations and jubilation among military and political leaders. Yet, as the international communities we've transitioned from a jubilant acceptance to the condemnation of the Taliban's actions. Pakistan claims of being a victim of terrorism found little traction. A similar skepticism resonated from within Pakistan, where doubts persisted about the military narratives. Mr. Ghani's insistence that Pakistan's chosen military approach in Afghanistan represented a lose-lose-lose scenario remained steadfast. Pakistan under radicalization in the wake up of the Taliban's seizure of Kabul, Pakistan witnessed a shift that concern. Caused concern. The Tehrik-e-Taliban. The Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan saw almost 40 allied groups joining its ranks, triggering a surge in insecurity that was marked by a rise in suicide attacks. Pakistan now found itself as the new battleground. The TTP's emboldenment fueled this transformation through the Taliban's victory in Afghanistan. While Pakistan grappled with an intensifying phase of radicalization, strategically, Pakistan's military facing criticism and security lapses sought to shift focus from its Afghan policy. The Afghan Taliban became the target of blame with accusations of inaction against the TTP, which allegedly exploited Afghan soil for attacks inside Pakistan. Contrarily, the Afghan Taliban dismissed TTP as a domestic concern, revealing internal divisions and mutual distrust. The TTP emerged as a more potent force, displaying heightened sophistication across domains, structural communication, and public relations, bolstered by existing grievances and the marginalization of the Pashtun and Baloch communities. The TTP capitalized on radicalized groups across Pakistan, particularly in Punjab. Can Pakistan effectively combat the TTP? The outlook is grim. Ingrained structural grievances, widespread radicalization, and a degree of local sympathy all play into the TTP's favor. Noor Wali Masood, the army of TTP, outlined the group's surgeons in his book. Inkilab Masood. The text emphasizes local alliances and organizational discipline while mirroring the Afghan Taliban provincial structure with a focus on urban insurgency. Employing slick media tactics, the TTP strategically comments on financial governance and corruption issues in order to rally public support. The TTP leverages a potent narrative that resonates with Pakistan is exploiting existing divisions and grievances while presenting Afghanistan's Taliban success as a model for governance. In contrast, Pakistan's present government narrative is feeble due to economic struggles, governance lapses, a fragmented political elite, and societal divisions. Events such as those on May 9 in Pakistan underscore public frustration with the military's role. Additionally, the absence of support from the United States in terms of intelligence, drone operations, and financial aid further compounds Pakistan's challenges. A shift in paradigm. A significant shift in strategy has become evident. Pakistan's historical pursuit of strategic depth in Afghanistan, which encompassed the backing of non state actors against amicable governments, has undergone a notable alteration. The dynamic has reversed with the Afghan Taliban securing a strategic foothold within Pakistan. This was achieved through the backing up entities such as the TTP and other radical groups operating within Pakistan. Should the Taliban decide to take action against the TTP, it risks forfeiting its leverage against Pakistan in its future dealings. The TTP, formerly aligned with the Afghan Taliban, is now engaged in jihad inside Pakistan, signifying a multifaceted partnership that has spanned over 2 decades. There are several reasons why the Afghan Taliban cannot and will not take a solid military action against the TTP. First, the Afghan Taliban avoids strong action against the TTP to avert internal division, preventing the potential loss of its ranks to the TTP or other extremist factions such as the Islamic State, Khorasan province, and Al Qaeda. Second, the Taliban comprehend that antagonizing the TTP could result in them losing secure havens across Durand Line, which they once utilized when facing up against international forces and Afghan security, all under the shelter of the TTP umbrella. The TTP has the capability and a strategic geographical edge that could challenge the Taliban's authority in Afghanistan. Should the Afghans Taliban's dominance be contested, the TTP has the potential to forge alliances with other groups to mount a formidable challenge. Third, Pakistan's historical use of religious madrasas to exert influence and use issue fatwas against Afghan government is now in the hands of the Afghan Taliban. Their extensive network established in the last 25 years within Pakistan, involving students, teachers, and friends across the thousands of madrasas, provides substantial support. Fourth, while Pakistan once tolerated public charity drives to fund the Afghan Taliban, according to many local sources, similar support is now flowing from Afghans to TTP groups, complicating the situation and indicating a paradigm shift. Pakistan needs to introspect. Navigating a way forward demands a thorough re-evaluation of Pakistan's policy on cultivating radical Islamist groups domestically and internationally for the sake of foreign policy gains. Notably, while many nations that once supported Afghan resistance against the Soviet invasion, including the Gulf states in the 1980s, have abandoned the practice of backing global jihadist and Islamist militant groups. Pakistan remains steadfast in continuing this policy, a choice that now casts a shadow over the nation's trajectory. Rather than seizing the opportunities presented by the era of globalization and economic growth, Pakistan has persisted in channeling its resources toward cultivating terrorist organizations. Hence, it is imperative that the nation's military redefine its role to prioritize the interest and welfare of the populace, respecting the mandate of civilian governance. The Pakistan military must lend its support and create a partnership with the Pashtun Tahapuj movement. This movement advocates regional peace and takes a stand against Pakistan's dual-centric policy, which involves nurturing militancy of safeguard the military's interest along the Pakhtun belt of Pakistan across the Durand line. Moreover, the urgency of veering away from exporting radicalism is underscored by rampant radicalization within the country. Pervasive poverty, the beleaguered state of the economy, and India's continued advancements, Pakistan stands at the crossroads where adopting a new path is imperative to secure a more stable and prosperous future and establish working relations with its near neighbors, specifically India and Pakistan. Tragically, the price of the recent abysmal policies executed by the military leadership is borne by the innocent citizenry. It is disheartening to witness individuals with abundant talent and resources grappling with the harsh reality of mere survival. And for some, even survival is a distant aspiration. Let's go to the next page. Next article written by editorial article. With climate change tackling new disease scenarios. In its latest report released this March, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change delivers a stock warning. Climate change heightens the global risk of infectious diseases. The close relationship between climate and disease is being demonstrated every year. For instance, the periodicity of mosquito-borne disease outbreaks no longer follows expected patterns. Dengue manifests into 2 to 3 weeks throughout the year. Variability in temperature, precipitation, and humidity disrupt disease transmission cycles. These also alter the disruption of the vectors and animal reservoirs that host the parasite. It has been proven to interfere with the genomic structure of pathogens, changing their infectivity and virulence. Climate change, more infections. Habitat loss poses disease carrying animals to encroach upon human territory, increasing the risk of human animal interaction and the transfer of pathogens from wildlife to humans. Viruses which do not harm animals can be fatal for humans. Nipah virus, which has been causing outbreaks in Kerala for many years now, is a good example. An analysis of 2025-22 published in Nature Climate Change warns that humans now face a broader spectrum of infectious agents than ever before. Over half of all known infectious diseases threatening humans versions with changing climate patterns. Diseases often find new transmission routes, including environmental resources, medical tourism, and contaminated food and water from once reliable resources. while systems shape local climates. Climate change is transforming ecosystems. This dynamic introduces invasive species and extends the range of existing life forms. Both these trigger upheavals in ecosystems that are complex and confound ecologists and epidemiologists to predict outbreaks. Human induced climate change is unleashing an unprecedented health vulnerability crisis. India, in particular, has felt the ominous impact, with early summers and erratic monsoons causing water scarcity across the Gangetic Plains and Kerala. These climatic shifts are manifesting These climatic shifts are manifesting in several health crises, including a dengue epidemic in Dhaka and Kolkata and a Nipah outbreak in Kerala. Why should we not be surprised at the recent outbreaks in Kolkata or Kerala or its unseasonality? Surveillance and reporting change disease scenarios require revision of strategies to detect and deal with them. Over the past 2 decades, India has improved its reporting of outbreaks. The integrated disease surveillance program was rolled out in a few states in 2007. From reporting 553 outbreaks in 2008, it lost reported 1714 in 2017. It was phased out in favor of a web-enabled near real-time electronic information system called Integrated Health Information Platform. IHIP was launched in 7 states in 2018. It added 20 additional disease conditions over IDSP's 13 and could present disaggregated data to its users. Tragically, the program, which would have enabled real-time tracking of emerging disease outbreaks, has not delivered on expectations. The current design of surveillance is not adequate for the emerging disease scenario. Mitigating the spread of climate change-induced diseases requires safeguarding ecosystems, curbing greenhouse gas emissions, and implementing active pathogen surveillance. An ununified approach termed One Health, which integrates monitoring human, animal, plant, and environmental health, recognizes this interconnectedness. This approach is pivotal in preventing outbreaks, especially those that originate from animals. It encompasses genetic diseases, neglected tropical diseases, vector-borne diseases, antimicrobial resistance, and environmental contamination. India must launch One Health and infectious disease control program by building greater synergies between the center and states and their varied specialized agencies. Animal husbandry, forest and wildlife, municipal cooperation corporations, and public health departments need to converge and set up robust surveillance systems. More importantly, they will need to build trust and confidence, share data, and devise logical lines of responsibility and work with a coordinating agency. So far, the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Prime Minister has been taking this lead, but with new World Bank and other large funding in place, this will need a greater coordination and management. Disease X and beyond. Globally, there is an obsession with the enigmatic disease X, but it is the familiar annual cycles of known agents such as influenza, measles, Japanese encephalitis, dengue, diarrhea, among others, that will continue to test the public health system. Climate change is not limited to infectious diseases, it also exacerbates injuries and deaths from extreme weather events, respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, and mental health issues. The re-emergence of Nipah in Kerala is a wake-up call that mere biomedical response to diseases is inadequate. In the face of a changing climate and the growing threat of infectious diseases, protecting ecosystems of fostering collaboration and embracing the One Health paradigm are our best defenses. The road ahead demands concerted efforts not to not just to adapt but also to proactively safeguard our planet and its inhabitants. Let's go to the next page. This is about the recent climate change, tackling new disease scenarios. Mm, let's go to the next page. Identity banks. A report on global digital IDs brings others limitations risks in focus. The need for quiet diplomacy to clear the air. Karnataka's monumental challenge. Lesser known cultural properties need to be protected and conserved. However, White 60 serious charges pending against 194 MPs before polls. Over 220 MPs had pending charges of involvement in crimes against women, four of which are rape. Charges of crimes against women. Indo-Pacific region, a web of interdependencies. Amit Chief. Judicial losing talent as government sits on names SC. Deputy Chief of Canadian Army hails military ties. SC three judge bench to your PMLA judgment review please from October 18. Lakhimpur Kheri accused can visit Delhi, bail rule eased. Congress targets 10 center over Vujit Patel's resignation. SC to see if on screen profanity amounts to sexually explicit act. Maithi group says cookies given a free tour run. Who will fact check? The fact checker asks Bombay High Court. Chithas may be flown in from new countries. Days when a few nations set agenda are over. Jaishankar tells UNGA. A fair, equitable and democratic order will surely emerge once we all put our minds to it. That means ensuring that rule makers do not subjugate the rule takers, says Mr. Minister. He speaks of the G20 presidency as catering for divergences and calls for reforms of UN and other multilateral institutions. Pramod Kadi as a passion statement. BPM tells students. BJP's list for MP full signals Sivraj may not be automatic choice for CM. Ministry deletes social media post on rabies after criticism. Indians eat more salt than WHO recommendation. A survey undertaken by the Indian Council of Medical Research found that salt intake was higher among the employed sections, tobacco users, and those with elevated blood pressure. Palke Award for veteran actor Wahida Rahman. FSSAI tells sweet meat makers not to cook how to's. IC rejects Disha Ravi's plea on modification of bail norm. 95% of components used in Indian rockets indigenous, says ISRO chief at a CSI event. Promote wheat seeds that are heat tolerant, center tells states. NHRC seeks action taken on report on welfare of trans persons from government. Center substance angel tax rules. Government introduces five different valuation methods for shares and a 10% tolerance for deviations from the accepted share valuations. The new rules, however, do not apply to resident investors. Government refunds 250 crore to settle MSME disputes as COVID relief and scheme. Bajaj Auto unveils all new Pulsar and 150 motorcycle. PF Hardy picks DSP as 11th fund manager for NPS. India demands 150 million from a gaming company Dream 11. Baidu said to plan laying half 4,000 staff in coming weeks. Exporters seek higher support under RODTEP scheme. NABARD's social bonds issue patches 1,000 crore. Cipla starts delivery of critical medicines by drones in Himachal. China warns Philippines not to stir up trouble over disputed reap. Thousands flee Nagorno-Karabakh as fuel depot blast kills 20 persons. Canada Parliament Speaker quits after tribute to Nazi veteran. Russian commando reported killed by crane appears in video. Nepal says no to China's security initiative. Canadian PM are prone to outrageous allegations. Sri Lanka. Boost in solar energy and electric vehicle sales gives hope for climate goals. IEA cannot bend rules of state to state interactions. Canada's UN ambassador. Left arm spinner Steve Wagg and India's near misses twice in a row. Confident Bagan takes on Bangalore. Harmanpreet scores 4 as India mauls Singapore 16-1. Indian squash teams start campaign with Faisal wins. Fencer Bhavani Devi loses to Eki, bows out in the quarterfinal. Tulika goes down in plus 78 kg judo bronze medal match. Gold handed to India's long equestrian medal drought. Shoot half outbreak for Indian marksman men. Sailors Neha Eba boost India's tally. The future of sports is here and it is not on a traditional playing field. Bishwas postman by day, a sports player by night. What man?
Can I write afterwards?
You mean when? Bishwas postman by day, sports player by night. India and Australia have plenty to look forward to, even in a dead Rohit Kohli, Bumrah, Siraj, and Kuldeep set to play for the first time in the series. Visitors likely to get a stock and a maximum boost. Sprint queen and skipper hangs up her running spikes. Rishi Khosla and Luka Pinto pair enters quarterfinals. Ashwin has the class and experience. Rohit, Sri Lanka omits Asaranga Chamira. Bangladesh drops the ex-captain Tamim. Kishan continues to lead in national 10-pin bowling. Amid the din and the drama, mercurial Pakistan hunts for a safe space. Messi misses training ahead of US Open Cup final. I'm really well prepped to come good in future. India gets up to a good start at World Junior Badminton. Ground survey. As the ICC ODI World Cup is all set to be held in India from October 5th to November 19th. An in-depth look at the venues which will host the cricketing extravaganza. Today we feature the Rajiv Gandhi International Cricket Stadium in Hyderabad. India is running out of phosphorus. Does the answer lie in our sewage? A handful of countries control most of the world's reserves of phosphorus. This is a major geopolitical concern. The world's largest reserves are in Morocco and the Western Sahara region. But here, phosphorus coexists with cadmium, a toxic heavy metal. Phosphorus is scarce and is pollutes. It does not exist as a gas, which means it can only move from land to water, which leads to algal blooms and eutrophication. Last two pages is there, guys. The number of people, text and context page. This is the number of people displaced in Wat Ton Suda. The weight of a second aerial bomb detonated in Singapore. The amount of non-basmati rice exported to UAE, amount to be invested by the BII in India's climate initiatives. Government gross market borrowing for the second half of 2023-24. Is Ukraine's counter-offensive working? What was the strategy behind Ukraine's attack against Russian troops in June? How is Russia able to fight back even when there are economic sanctions against it? How has the US viewed Ukraine's plan for attacking Russia? What have confidential US documents revealed? Tackling the various myths within the field of microbiome research. In the last 2 decades, microbiome research has gone from a niche subject area to one of the hottest topics in all of science. The flip side of this is the hype and a temptation to oversimplify the reality, complex and microbial interactions and activities occurring in our guts. Thomas Nast, a German-born American caricaturist, often considered to be the father of the American cartoon, was born on September 26. He is a Quage Han cartoonist. This is the today news, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the newspaper reading. If you guys have any comments or any doubts, you guys can leave the comment in the comment box so that I can resolve your doubts as soon as possible. So if you guys need the soft copy, PDF copy, daily newspaper, please ping me in my WhatsApp number, that is 9480741411. 9480741411. This is my WhatsApp number. If you need the free PDF copies, I am very happy to share with you guys if you in need. So you can guys can take the PDF copy and read later. So see you in the upcoming videos, guys. Please subscribe the channel, like and comment for more videos related to healthcare education and personal interviews, especially in the field of education. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.